On this episode of Zambian Heroes and Greats, we remember Henry Tayali, who was a multilingual Zambian painter, sculptor, photographer, printmaker, and lecturer. He was also one of the first Africans to work tirelessly to raise the profile of indigenous African art and crafts in Zambia. Henry Tayali was born on the 22nd of November 1943 in Serenge in the British colony of Northern Rhodesia. Tayali grew up surrounded by art and literature. His hometown, situated near the site of the Nsalu rock and cave paintings. Henry Tayali was the eldest among 7 siblings of Edward Nkole Tayali and Esnati Mumba Tayali. He is said to have developed a love for painting at an early age and was supported by his parents. After the sudden death of his mother, to support his family, Tayali's father immigrated from northern Rhodesia to work in Bulawayo in southern Rhodesia, ending up in the Department of Housing and Amenities. It was at school in Bulawayo in the 1950s that Tayali first began to take painting seriously, and whilst at Mpopoma High School, he produced his famous work, Destiny. The proceeds from his paintings at school are said to have gone to the Henry Tayali Painting Fund, which would be released in time to pay for his university fees. After completing his schooling, Tayali was awarded a Zambian government scholarship to study at Uganda's Makerere University in Kampala, from where he graduated in 1971 with a Bachelor of Arts degree. After graduation, Henry Tayali returned to Zambia and found employment at the University of Zambia as a lecturer in African art at the Institute of African Studies in Lusaka, and later as university artist. He later received a German Academic Exchange Service scholarship to study for a master's in fine arts in West Germany in 1972, becoming the first African artist south of the equator to be awarded an arts scholarship by the DAAD. In Germany, Tayali was a very hard-working and diligent student who earned the love and admiration of his teachers at the institute and became fluent in German over the course of his stay in the country. Tayali graduated in 1975 and returned to Lusaka to the Institute of African Studies. Back in Zambia, he would apply modern tools and techniques of art to traditional art forms and produced innovative and beautiful works of art. Although he was primarily a painter, Henry Tayali was also a skilled sculptor. At his prominence as an artist, he painted, sculpted, and exhibited his work not only in his hometown but also in cities around the world, including Toronto, Alberta, London, and Bulawayo. In Zambia, some of his exhibitions were opened by Dr. Kenneth Kaunda himself, Zambia's first Republican president. Tayali was associated with artists, authors, and politicians, including Simon and Cynthia Zukas, Andrew Sardinis, whose property at Chaminuka houses a collection of Tayali's paintings and sculptures, and, of course, American professor Melvin Edwards. Tayali was also a skilled photographer, as he had studied art and photography in college. His favorite subjects for photography were people and artifacts. Some of his photographs were later turned into postcards. In 1978, Tayali returned to Germany to pursue a Doctor of Fine Arts degree. However, things did not work out as planned and he returned to Zambia without finishing his program. Henry Tayali was one of the first Africans to work tirelessly to raise the profile of indigenous African art and crafts in Zambia, Africa, and the world through workshops, exhibitions, magazines, and television appearances. His influence on the development of art and culture in the 20th century Zambia was indeed immense. He also served as the president of the International Association of Artists in Zambia and headed the Art Center Foundation, the National Crafts Council of Zambia, and of course, the National Museums Board. In 1971, Tayali married Regina Mary Birumi, and they were blessed with a son the next year. Unfortunately, Regina died in 1976. He later developed a relationship and married Rosemary Kalua, with whom he had 2 children. Henry Tayali died on 22nd July 1987 at the age of 43. At the time of his death, he was visiting his eldest son and family in Germany after attending his younger brother's wedding in England. In 1989, over 70 artists from around Zambia convened at Evelyn Horn College of Applied Arts and Sciences and formed the Zambian National Visual Arts Council in honor of Henry Tayali. Its headquarters at Lusaka Showgrounds was named the Henry Tayali Visual Art Center.